Microdose, yeah. Microdose, 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 dose. Microdose, microdose, dose. Microdose, microdose, dose.
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here, coming to you, the newest edition of the Microdose. Guys, I'm sorry. I would have loved to have been here last week, but just with everything going on, just not in the world, but just my life. And then on top of everything, I made 44 rotations around the sun, guys. I just needed a day off, and I hope you understand that. But we're back. We're back. We only took a week off. Everything's A-okay. And summer, it's been a wild ride for movies, man. I've been enjoying almost everything I see. What's been disappointing? Well, it's been disappointing. But here to talk about that, funniest man in the room, Drew Angelman. Welcome back, brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk about movies today.
Yeah, man. You, as always, you're with the Box Office Party. There's a link tree for it, and it's got all the links and the socials and your YouTube page and everything. So, Box Office Party. We spoke only 2 months ago, which is hard to believe because it feels like at least half a year, at least for me. That's how hard I've been running. But we were talking about our most anticipated summer movies. You weren't looking forward to Jurassic Park 6, and I gotta say it was one of the dullest, most expensive movies I've ever seen. Like, it was hard to believe that much money could still put a man to sleep. Like, it was hard to watch.
It was so bad. I remember seeing it on a Thursday afternoon, and the theater was packed. The theater was jamming, and at one point, I think within 30 minutes or 40 minutes, it felt like 3 hours was left in the film, but I think 40 minutes left in the movie. I had to go to the bathroom, and I legit was looking at the exit going, if I leave to get up to go to the bathroom, I'm not coming back. Like, I'm not going through, because I get the middle seat in the middle. Like, if I walk through all those people, I'm already not having a great time. If I walk through all those people to get to the bathroom, I'm not going to take that journey back. So I stuck it out. I went to the bathroom afterwards, but man, thinking back to it, I should have just left. It was such a disappointment. It was worse than I had imagined. It was worse than the second one, Fallen Kingdom, because I thought you can't get worse than Fallen Kingdom. And I was really looking forward to the original trio being back. And they squandered them, like hardcore. They squandered them. So
it was a weird B plot where, like, all of a sudden they're like back on the set of the X-Files Fight the Future, where they're being attacked by hornets or locusts or whatever it's supposed to be. But it's funny how we never thought about the Jurassic Park rivalry going on. Like, there was another company in the first movie that was trying to steal John Hammond's project, and they, after six movies, Drew, they're back, and they're bigger than ever. You know, like, it was one of those things. Was like, yeah, why haven't we touched on this group after like 4 movies ago? Like, these guys were a major impact. But anyway, yeah, boring. One movie that I did like that we both called very incorrectly, I don't know how you felt about it, but Disney's Pixar's Lightyear. I thought this was going to be an incredible movie. I still thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it would be great for the kids. I also thought it was going to make $1 billion. And no.
I sadly haven't seen it yet. So I think I'm waiting for it to come out on Disney Plus at this point, because if I haven't seen it now, it's going to be on there sooner rather than later at this point. But
you know, what's really bad about that is it's on Disney Plus.
Oh, really? Is it already? Oh, man.
Yes.
Oops. I guess I could go check it out. So yeah, I don't know. It came in and was gone out of the movie theater in a light year, like that quickly. It was in and out.
It's still middle of August here, so the summer isn't 100% over. The summer movie season is not 100% over. One movie that I was like, this is going to be the best movie of the summer and make the littlest amount of money, and that would be last weekend's Bullet Train. Not only was I wrong about it being like, it's actually doing pretty well. It's making a lot of money. It had like a very successful opening weekend. For a movie that I thought was going to be very exciting, this movie was dog shit, Drew. I don't know if you've had the time to see it yet. It's I did not like it, not at all. First 90 minutes, very well paced, a lot of fun, and then there's another 40 minutes of this thing, man. And it's like, no, we're done. Send it home. Pull over. Did you
Yeah,
see? Did you see the Bullet Train?
I actually did. I saw it on Saturday, this past Saturday, and I'm so happy you said what you said about it. And you have the same kind of reaction that I did, because I too was going into the movie thinking, this looks fun. This looks great.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that was really making me wonder about this film, or making me timid about seeing this film, was how many commercials I saw and how much they showed of this movie. Because I was like, okay, I saw that it's not Sandra Bullock, is it? No, it's not.
Yeah, she's in that.
Oh yeah. Then yeah, I was like, okay, so she's the voice. Why would you tell me that? Like, that seems dumb. And then I'm like, I knew that he gets on the train at night, yet all the trailers were showing him in the daylight talking to some old man, and I'm like, that seems like it's the end of the movie. So why are you showing me so much of this movie when it could be like, I'm going in thinking it's going to be this action movie. It's going to be like, I don't know, John Wick. They're talking about John Wick and Deadpool 2 and all this other stuff. And I'm like, cool, let's see what this movie is. This movie is as if John Wick is like John Wick if John Wick's writers were like, we got to explain everybody as soon as they get on camera. Like, we got to get into heavy exposition every time we cross somebody new. Brad Pitt walks by Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brandon Tyree Henry, and then we have to stop on them, and then we have to just understand exactly where they came from, what past jobs they had, and then they get to talk about the White Death and everything, that the history. It's like, why would you do this? Just let us play the movie out. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was so ill-paced. And I think this is where it was like frustrating me, because the guy who did Deadpool 2 did this movie, and I had the same problems with Deadpool 2. It was just not as fun as Deadpool 1. It was just overinflated. It had too much going on. And this one is exactly the same thing. It just completely drags in the middle. And I'm like, why? There was a death in this movie. I'm sorry about this, but a guy is introduced in the movie. We get his whole backstory going back to when he was a small little child, for Brad Pitt to kill this man a minute later. And I was like, why? Why did that was a wasted 8 minutes that we saw of this dude's whole life just to get the payoff of, oh yeah, I remember that guy. I was the waiter at whatever. It's like, who cares, man? That was so stupid.
Yeah. If it had led to something important, it would have been great. And the execution of it I thought was fine, but everything adds up to a giant zero. Also, I think I'm coining a term here for the first time, Drew. So the amount of cinema incest in this kind of went off the charts for me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, so Brad Pitt plays a cameo in Deadpool 2. Well, Deadpool 2 plays a cameo in this. I'm not even going to bring it up.
Oh yeah.
Channing Tatum all of a sudden just comes out of nowhere. Yeah. Sandra Bullock is for some reason the voice, and then just pops out of nowhere. It's like, oh, those sets must have been like right next door to each other when they were filming both of these.
Lost Paradise, yeah, Lost Paradise. A little cameo reunion there. There's just so much going on. It's like, I get it. You like these fun little cameos, but it was just so over the top in everything, and it wasn't as thrilling or exciting. I was really disappointed in this movie. One of which, both of these are one semi-horror. I mean, both of them are kind of semi-horror. The Black Phone that came out in June 24th. I actually just saw it a second time in theaters this last weekend with a friend who's never seen it. So I saw it opening weekend, and then I saw it last weekend right before it's about to hit Peacock, probably. And we had a lot of fun talking about this movie afterwards. We were having a dinner, enjoyed just having a good time watching this really well written, well acted, very low budget Black Phone horror movie. And it was just awesome. It was a really, really good movie, in my opinion.
I recognize, again, also a crowd pleaser. What I didn't get is it had a lot of tones for me, and I won't get into it. You'll just have to tune in next week, Drew. But it's, what exactly did you like about did you understand the plot any better? Did you understand like the killer's motives any better? Or like, did you think like Ethan Hawke is maybe like oh, hey, why is there a hole in my wall? Like, this is 70s track housing. It's like, hey, why is that kid flushing the toilet 50 times in my basement? Hey, cokehead brother, who's coming up with this weird conspiracy board. You're not hearing any of that, like.
I just like the simplicity of it. I mean,
Okay.
when we were the first weekend, the opening weekend, I watched it. I just got the vibes, and I was like, you know what? It blew my expectations out of the water. I don't like Ethan Hawke that much, but I went to go see this movie, and I thought he actually did really well in it, and it was better than I expected. The story was a little bit better than I had originally thought it was going to be. This time around, knowing everything and kind of just going off of my friend's vibe of like seeing how she reacted to some of the things, I wanted to see what she felt when the little girl was like, I don't know, cussing at Jesus, and then
Jesus, what the fuck?
and then the jump scares and stuff. So I wanted to see like more so of her reaction to it, but I was also having like a decent time. And it's also an hour and 47 minutes, under 2 hours. I was like, yes, thank you. But once we got out of there, her and I normally on these like movie dates, we just like go watch a movie, have lunch, have dinner, whatever, and then talk about the movie and nitpick like the crap out of it. And this movie by far is not perfect whatsoever. We were nitpicking the crap out of this movie, especially at the end. Everything that happens in this movie, and we were just like, I don't know if that's how people would react normally after everything this person has been through, kind of thing. But it was still enjoyable. We both were like, yeah, it was decent. Like it wasn't like a slog to get through. And the runtime was pretty good. And I think it was well paced enough that it didn't drag at any points for me. So some of these other movies like Thor, Love and Thunder and Jurassic World and stuff like that I had to endure up to that point. This was a shining light comparatively to those movies that I've had to sit through, and Bullet Train.
Was your audience also cheering during the Black Phone? Because like my audience was treating it like a Marvel movie. Like folks were clapping, like, yes, little boy, run away. Oh, like people like being very verbal and very, very animated during this film, during my only screening.
The opening night, because I went on Thursday night. So I went on Thursday night, and this movie, even though it's like rated R, all of the kids came to it. Like the teenagers, young parents decided to come to it. And yeah, there was a lot of people that were very vocal during the performance of the movie. And I didn't dislike it, but I would have rather it not been. But of course, when I did the last viewing that I had, it was like 8 people in the theater. So it was way less audible in that theater.
Time has passed. What was the other movie you wanted to talk about?
I wanted to talk about Jordan Peele's Nope.
Tell me about Nope. Nope. Once a year, every week of July, the same week of July every year. I always miss the movie and I never get out to see it. So Nope was this year's movie for me. Please tell me about Nope.
Nope is really interesting and divisive amongst the crowd. I went to see it in Dolby with my uncle, and then to me, this movie needs multiple showings to kind of like get your feel for it. If you like, I know that people either love it or they hate it. It seems like, because Get Out was such the motifs and theme, the analogies and what they were trying to put out there was so surface level, and then Us was a little bit more deeper. And this movie seems to even be a little bit different than what people had originally thought going into a Jordan Peele movie. So he's trying something completely different in this type of movie, trying to get out a different type of topic, a theme. And I thought his camera skills are incredible. He had an amazing cinematographer. I mean, this movie is just beautiful, beautiful to look at. Even if you don't completely understand all of the little simplicities or the little nuances of the film or little pieces that maybe you could like pick up on like a second viewing of somebody saying a certain line or the way that their cadence is in the pacing of the movie. So I had to go see it again, and I decided to see it in IMAX because it was actually filmed for IMAX screens, which
Okay.
Beautiful. It was amazing in IMAX. And I just really enjoyed this film. I love Jordan Peele, so I feel like I'm biased no matter what. I loved Get Out. I loved Us even more. And then when Nope came out, I will say that after the first viewing, I was very mixed on it. Like I was still trying to like think of everything that was happening, trying to get what he was trying to tell us as the audience. And then it wasn't until the second viewing that I felt like, oh yeah, I like this movie. I like it a lot. I feel like I was able to pick up more on it. And then I even did more outside research. So to me, Jordan Peele just kills it with the analogies of the film, how he wants it to be filmed, the casting of the movie, and then just giving the audience like something to think about. I know that's not for everybody, or you're not always going to be in the mood for that. But to me, whenever I'm thinking of Jordan Peele, I'm always going to have that in my mind of like, I have to be paying attention. Like, I'm not going to be walking into Jurassic World and I'm going to have to try to shut off my brain. But even if I shut off my brain, the illogical points of this movie will just creep in and just annoy the hell out of me. So I just really enjoyed Nope a lot.
Okay. Is that your standout movie for the film or for the summer? Excuse me.
I would say so, just for like how we were talking about. Top Gun is a really good movie, and I think it's a good movie because of the way it was shot and the storyline. I think just by how this movie was shot alone, that I was enthralled with this movie both times I was watching it. So I think by that standard, it's going to stand out to me for the whole year, let alone the summer.
Okay. Oh, far out, man. The whole year. Okay. There was a movie that wasn't even on my radar. Like I don't remember what film it was where I saw the trailer for it, but Blumhouse Productions gave BJ Novak $1 million to write, produce, and direct a film called Vengeance. And it's about a podcaster from New York. He's kind of a player. And one day he gets a phone call and a man is crying. And he's like, I've got terrible news. Your girlfriend's dead, man. And he's like, huh? What? It turns out this chick he hooked up with, many moons ago. For whatever reason, this family in Texas assumed that she's still in a relationship with him, despite it just being like maybe a series of flings and hookups. Anyway, he gets guilted into coming out to the funeral in Texas. And one thing leads to another. And Blumhouse, the trailer treats it like it's going to be this dark and serious, gritty thriller. The crime of a girl who's horribly murdered comes to light. Like, no, it's just like he comes to Texas, complete fish out of water. Like they kicked the shit out of him, Drew. Like it's some of the most funny, just like I don't get life out here stuff that you could ever see. And then there is a mystery involved. Like at first, the autopsy just like she just OD'd on some opiates. It happens. It's Texas. Sorry. But her brother, who's played by Boyd How, the guy from Logan, the bad guy from Logan. He's also in Narcos. Blonde guy, bushy mustache.
I think I know who you're talking about. I just can't remember.
Yeah. I keep blanking on his name, which is a real crime because he's great in this. But he's like, no, man, I think my sister was murdered. Like, I got a list of suspects and this and then the timeline. And at first, he's just like, this guy's full of shit. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna create a podcast series, and I'm gonna go with him on this mystery. And ultimately, I'm gonna just prove to him that it was just an opiate OD, and that people will make up any story they want just to get past their grief. Like that's his thesis statement. But then, they get a couple days in and, go down a couple different rabbit holes. And also it's like, well, what if this girl was murdered? And it goes down there. But when I'm not laughing my ass off at just all the Texasisms and the fish out of water stuff, like I was on the edge of my seat the entire time, just going like, I want more from this. I need more. Let's go deeper into this rabbit hole. It's less than an hour and 50 minutes, dude. It's super indie-rific. Nice. So it'll be on Peacock probably in 3 weeks, but it's one of those things where like I want to buy it right now. I don't always want a sequel, but I could see BJ Novak like creating his own new like nouveau detective series. Like there's an actual murder mystery happening here. It's a lot of fun. I've been talking about nonstop on the Waffle Box podcast 2 weeks ago. I gave it 5 stars. I would absolutely recommend you go see Vengeance. It's the best movie of this summer. That wasn't Top Gun.
Sweet deal. The way you were describing it, it kind of reminds me of like just from what you were describing, the descriptions of it, is like the murders in the building, that Hulu show with Martin Short and Steve Martin kind of thing, where they have a podcast and then they're solving a murder as well, and it's supposed to be funny but also thrilling and stuff. And I just really liked season 1 of that. I've seen the trailers for this movie. I like BJ Novak. Also, I saw Ashton Kutcher was in this movie, so I was very intrigued about this movie. It just I haven't gotten a chance to see it yet, but I'm looking forward to it after you hyped it up like this.
Dude, Ashton Kutcher like gives some just looking down the barrel of the camera monologues that just like captivates you the entire time. You're just like, where has this motherfucker been the entire time? Like, where were you in the butterfly effect, motherfucker? Come on. This is who I've been looking for the last 20 years. Ashton, what the hell, man? So dude, the summer is still kind of going on, and there's a new Idris Elba movie coming out next week called Beast. That looks pretty good. Everyone seems to be sleeping on the fact that in like the very last frame of the only trailer I've seen, he punches a lion in the face. I don't know why more people ain't making a big deal out of that. But Drew, let's get into the fall and the winter, man. Like, what are you looking forward to coming up? If not late August, September, October, November, December.
I think the one movie I'm gonna go with, the one movie that I'm like super excited about, and every time I see that the trailers, it makes me more and more intrigued, is that Don't Worry Darling, coming out on September 23rd. That is the Olivia Wilde Newton directed and written, and I think she acts in it, as well as Harry Styles and Florence Pugh. I really like Florence Pugh. She is the best thing of Midsommar, and instantly I was a fan of hers. This movie looks very interesting. I hope it is interesting. And
Chris Pine's in this.
Chris Pine is in it. Gives it like a Stepford Wives type of vibe almost.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really intrigued on like a good thriller. And like I mentioned, if Florence Pugh is in it, like, I'll be there, like 100%. And I also like Harry Styles too. So
I've seen the trailer for that as well, man. That looks, I'm sorry, that's not even on my list here. That's a great pull, dude. That should be one of the more interesting ones. Is that a September or October release? I don't have any dates here myself, so I botched that one.
It's on right here. The list I'm looking at is September 23rd. I hope it hasn't moved from this, because this one also, the list that I'm looking at, this website still has Spider-Man coming out, and that's not coming out this year. So it's September 23rd. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So that should be the end of the drought that we're in currently with August, and then early September is not going to be that busy at the movie theater, it looks like.
I got lucky when I went to see Vengeance. Like, almost all the trailers were brand new, and almost all of them were like, had my attention. Like, oh, I want to see that, and I want to see that, and I want to see that. And walking into that same theater, I saw a poster for a movie called Barbarian. I went, well, that's an interesting title, and that's an interesting looking poster. And then I saw the trailer for it 5 minutes later, and it looked like something completely I don't know why it's called Barbarian, but I'm just like, I still want to see this. Like some chick checks into an Airbnb, and it's not all that it's cracked up. So, something was left out of the description. Okay. And we need to get to the bottom of it. It looks like someone's living in the walls, or there's a trap door in the basement, or whatever. I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but it was one of the cooler looking trailers I've seen this year that I was like, I gotta go see that in September.
I actually have Barbarian on my list as well. I've only seen the trailer once, which I'm very surprised about. But I've only seen the trailer once. I see the poster every time I go into my AMC. And yeah, just like you were saying, it looks like a thriller. It looks like a indie sort of film. I think it's done by the production team of It, and also has Bill Skarsgård, who played Pennywise in the new It movies. So I'm looking forward to this movie. I don't want to see any more trailers for this movie, because I'm already hooked. I'm already going in. I don't want to see anything else. I don't want to even see like what's underneath there, what she's like going in underneath, and then accidentally seeing something like, I don't know, zombies or giant mice men or something. Like, I don't want to see it. I just want to wait. I'm gonna AMC. If you want my money, just don't show me any more trailers with any more things in this movie because it looks really, really interesting.
Once I've seen the trailer I like, that's it. I'm committed. I'm in, and I just pull out my phone and I just start scrolling. Like I'll keep it on the dimmest level, and it's just trailers. Hey, shut up, stupid. All right, you'll see this trailer 6 more times. Don't you worry about it. Anyway, there is a new movie coming out called The Woman King, and it looks intense as all hell. I want to say it's Alfre Woodard. Let me just pull up my notes here real quickly. There we go. The Woman King. A historical epic inspired by the true events that happened in the kingdom of Dahomey, one of the most powerful states of Africa of the 18th and 19th centuries. That is pretty good synopsis, but I was hoping for a cast list here because I'm not good at that.
Gosh, Viola Davis, I know, is the main person who is in it. Like she looks incredible. This looks very entertaining. This looks so epic. I actually have this movie on my list as well to talk about because I've seen this trailer now twice and it's stuck in my head. I was going to talk about Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, but okay. I will say that after Doctor Strange 2 and after Thor Love and Thunder, I'm really not feeling Marvel. And I just saw the trailer for Wakanda Forever and I'm nervous. I'll be honest. It looks like Black Panther meets Avatar at this point, and I'm not sold yet. So at the moment, I'm not huge into the MCU. I feel like I've hit that fatigue. I don't want to watch any of their shows. I don't want to watch any more of their movies. I want to take a long break. But The Woman King gives you that feel. To me, it reminds me of the first Black Panther. It got me so excited like those trailers did, and it just looks really, really good. Yeah, especially with the one scene with the spear in both of the people's shoulders, and then she like starts yelling. I get hyped. Like I got hyped in Bullet Train before Bullet Train came on. I was like, I want to see this movie. And then at the end, I was like, I wish I was watching Woman King because I don't want to see this Bullet Train anymore.
I think The Woman King is going to kill it. I think it's going to definitely get a couple of nominations for some gold trophies in February. For some reason, there's already controversy with it, but that's just a bunch of insecure man babies that apparently don't understand what based on a true story means. But I think this is gonna surprise a lot of people, and I think it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a good popcorn film that you will want to see. We got another World War II epic coming out, and I've been joking that it's the prequel to Top Gun Maverick because it's got Glenn Powell and Jonathan Majors, and it's called Devotion. And it's the story of one of the first African-American Air Force pilots and all the nonsense he went through just trying to fly a plane for the Americans. But Glenn Powell's in it, and he's like, "Hey man, I got your back, and let's go to war, dude." And they go to war, and it's actually probably going to be the worst movie that we've talked about. But I really enjoyed the trailer, and I think it's I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. I haven't actually seen that trailer yet, so I'm going to be looking out for it. It looks like it's coming out November. Yeah, the Thanksgiving week. So yeah, this could be interesting for sure. I'll keep my eyes out for that one. I'm looking. I mean, you picked a lot of the ones that I was already going to be talking about. I guess I'll bring up. I'm looking forward to this movie so I could be done with this series because I am ready to say goodbye, pack it up to this Halloween Blumhouse trilogy. So I'm looking forward to my birthday weekend to go see Halloween Ends and be done with it because I hated Halloween Kills. And now I'm gonna have to sit through Halloween Ends, and I'm done. Like honestly, they say this is the last movie that they're gonna do in their quadrilogy. They say trilogy, but it's a quadrilogy if they're counting the first ever movie. And I just want it to be over. I'm not gonna see another movie. If this movie makes $100 million, of course they're gonna make another one. But I am not going to subject myself to any more of these Halloween Blumhouse movies because I thought the first one that they did was fine, but the second one was absolutely horrendous kills and ends. I can't think is going to be that much better on that end. So I'm so looking forward to this being over, and then I'm just going to wipe my hands of that whole thing.
I also enjoyed 2018's Halloween, and then was just immediately offended. And they're like, we got 2 more of these coming up. I'm like, oh, go fuck yourself. So I didn't even see Halloween Kills. I heard it was the funniest movie of October that year, but I still don't want to see it. I'm a fan of the YouTube channel Red Letter Media, so I've seen their review about it multiple times, and I'm just like, that's all I need to see. There you go. I got the whole package right there. That's you show me all the good stuff. Evil Dies Tonight. I'm in. There you go. So I will just be following suit, and I will not be seeing Halloween Ends. And regardless of how much money it does or does not make, this will probably be the last movie Danny McBride is involved in, and his writing team. But it will not be the last time you see Michael Myers in any context. I promise you that much. David O. Russell's got a movie coming out. He's already laying out the breadcrumbs for his Oscar bait, and he's doing an ensemble film called Amsterdam, which is a movie that takes place in the 30s.
Of course, you got Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, John David Washington, Chris Rock, Anya Taylor-Joy, Zoe Saldana, Mike Myers, Michael Shannon, Timothy Oliphant, Andrea Riseborough, Taylor Swift, Rami Malek. I'll just skip to Rami Malek, and Robert De Niro is also on this film. So it's a lot. That's a lot of people.
Dude, that's a stronger lineup than like the 22 Yankees. Okay, that's this movie was set up to kill. This one is definitely trying to steal all the Oscars, and we'll have to see if it's any good. But it definitely captured my attention. It was just on the cast alone. So that's but for some reason, here's the plot here. Set in the 30s, it follows 3 friends who witness a murder, become suspects themselves, and uncover one of the most outrageous plots in American history. But it's called Amsterdam. So we'll have to see what happens with that.
I did want to get your thoughts on this though, because we did talk about Avatar 2 already. So I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about this whole Black Adam thing. What are your thoughts on this movie? Because I watched the trailer, and every time this trailer comes on, I get no emotion. Like I didn't think it looked that great when I first saw it at my home, and then I've had movies where the more I see the trailer, the more it grows on me, and I'm like, okay, I'll go see it. But that has not been the case for Black Adam. I've seen it in IMAX, I've seen it in Dolby now, I've seen it on the normal screen, and every single time I see it, I'm just like, no, I don't know, no, whatever.
I can tell you I'm most likely destined to watch it, but I don't know anything about the character of Black Adam. I know it's connected to Shazam. I enjoyed the first Shazam. I'm also looking forward to Shazam 2. And the fact that it's coming out 3 months after Black Adam, that was done for a reason. But I have no expectations going into it. I love watching The Rock in anything, but this was not on my list for a reason. I don't care about Black Adam. Hopefully I come out there like, oh my God, dude, this is my rival Top Gun. Like I'm going to go see this 5 times in the theater. Like that would be the best case scenario, but I'm not expecting that. It'll probably just fit the formula of every other comic book movie we've seen the last 5 years. I know this has been a passion project for The Rock. He's been trying to get this fucking thing made for like a decade. Why this character? I guess we're going to find out. But I would have put The Rock in any other role besides this one. But that's, again, not knowing anything about the character. So I'm definitely going to go see it. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. It's the same reason why I didn't bring up Wakanda Forever. Like, people, we're going to go see it. I'd rather talk about a movie like Honk for Jesus, period. Save Your Soul, period. That's the title of a movie about a mega church pastor who ran for president, failed, and then his wife, Regina, it's not Regina King, it's Regina Hill. Yeah, the other Regina Hall. Thank you. She, they're doing a documentary about her. So that looks hilarious as hell. I saw the trailer for that. Was it before Vengeance or before Easter Sunday? Not important. It just, I remember seeing that being a standout. Sterling K. Brown. That's going to be very funny and very slept on. So that's the movie I would rather talk about on this. Like Avatar 2, we're gonna go see it. Well, I'm gonna go see it, Drew. Maybe your resolve seems to be a little stronger than mine. Like very few movies I go like, no, I gotta go see that one. But you'll just like, no, not gonna see it. So
So the thing is that I have AMC A list, and
same,
so I
or used to.
I get to go see the movies, and it's not like I'm handing over $20 to IMAX or Dolby every single time. So to me, it's not a problem to go see movies, and if I don't like them, it's low barrier for the cost because it might be my third movie of that week or it's the third movie of that month, and it's already paid for my A list. So I will pick and choose the movies if there's a lot of competition, but at this moment, there's not a lot of competition. So I'm most likely going to see a movie if there's not a lot else going on. But I do remember seeing that Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul trailer, and I instantly was like, yes, please. I would like to see this movie. It looks really, really funny. It has like a mockumentary feel, it feels like, and I just think it's going to be really, really funny and really well done. But like you said, it's going to be slept on. I think it's going to have a niche audience, and I feel like
Very
I
specific.
fit that audience. Yeah, and I feel like I fit that audience to where I'm just going to fall in love with this movie, and it's going to be a sleeper hit for me. Because coming into this year, you always look for those diamonds in the roughs, and I think that this movie is the one where it's coming out of nowhere. You never even saw this on the list when it was first coming out in the year, and you're looking through all the most anticipated movies, and then it hits you in one small movie that you go to, because we're seeing a lot of movies, you and I do. So, I mean, we go to the bigger movies, but we also go to the smaller theaters, smaller movies. I think I saw this in actually Nope. So when I went to go see that, I was absolutely enthralled. I love Sterling K. Brown. I love Regina Hall. So I think they're going to absolutely kill this, and it's going to be funny as hell.
Yeah. And as we were recording this, like, they still don't even have the December releases ready yet. So we might be missing out on stuff that's going to just kill the entire year. Like, oh my God, this is taking all the gold trophies. But like when I was going through the list today, just for extra research, there was, an untitled New Line Cinema horror event. And I was like, wow, this is 7 weeks away. You've got the slot, but you don't even have a title for the movie yet. What. Well, you and I have definitely hit our 3 for 3, even with the ones that crossed over here. But is there anything else that you might be looking forward to? Just like, I gotta squeeze this in. Like, this is my honorable mention.
I'll give an honorable mention to a December release that's tentative at this moment that it may not come out. But I Want to Dance with Somebody is the biopic for Whitney Houston.
Oh shit! Right. Good. Great.
Very
great
much
call.
looking forward to that one. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that one. It's coming out the same week of Shazam, Puss in Boots, and then after Avatar too. So it's going to be up against a lot of heavy competition, but I think it has a niche audience to where the audience for all those movies may not have seen I Want to Dance with Somebody anyways, or would prefer to see I Want to Dance with Somebody anyways besides Shazam and Puss in Boots. But I'm really looking forward to that biopic.
I've only seen the poster. I haven't seen the trailer. I just know that this movie is coming, and this is either going to be like the greatest movie of the year, or it's going to be the biggest punchline of the year. It's only going to go one of two ways. It's not going to just like, all right, yeah, well, I guess we can make it a double feature with Elvis. Like that's never going to happen. This is going to take home all the trophies, or no one's going to be talking about it a week later. So that's a great pull, Drew. Thank you so much, man. What is your favorite movie of the year to date so far?
So far,
of everything, whether we talked about it or not.
I guess at this moment, it's got to be Top Gun 2, Top Gun Maverick. I think that one was the most enjoyable and has the most rewatchability out of all the movies that I've seen so far. But if I had to pick a second one who may be on par with it, and I've seen this movie multiple times in theaters, is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Is fantastic. I really love that movie. Kind of like what I was saying with Nope. The more times you see it, the more times you kind of get something new out of it. You get some more of the nuances that they put into the script writing and into the movie. And it's just, I don't know, it's a tearjerker too. At a certain point, I always cry at it. And even when I know what's coming. So I think those two movies are on another level in my mind for this year. I just think that they've hit the echelon in my brain, and nearly nothing at this point could knock them off as the top 2 movies of the year for me, in my opinion.
I gotta say, I'm definitely with you on the Top Gun Maverick. It's been my favorite movie. Is it the best movie? That I don't know, but it has been my favoriteest movie. Where it's like, yo, it's Sunday, it's 11 a.m. We just woke up a half hour ago. Yeah, let's go see Top Gun 2. Let's do that. Right. Like, we live 20 minutes from a 20-minute walk away from our closest theater, and it's still playing right now. We could, after this recording, we could go see it for a 5th time. Anyway, I liked Everything Everywhere All at Once, but I don't love it. I get why people like it, and yes, I like at one point in the movie, like, I'm crying. I'm crying. I'm crying at rocks talking. What the fuck? Like, oh, I'm crying at rocks talking, and so I get why people like it. Not my favorite, but it was a very good film. I feel like that one's going to steal a couple nominations. Yeah, if it doesn't, it will definitely have been snubbed because it's been a good year for cinema. It hasn't been a great year, so the standouts are leaps, or at least a full mile ahead. So this one should get a couple of, at least a best actress. Like, Michelle Yeoh killed it. But anyway, let's bring this to a close, my friend. Is there anything you want to plug?
Box Office Party is on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. We talk about the box office earnings, predictions, news, and all that every single week for the most part. We might be taking some time off in August because, I mean, there's nothing coming out this past weekend. So Mac and
Life
Rita
gets in the way,
falling and summering. So yeah, we're picking and choosing some of our weekends and weeks, but we'll get into it more so in the September through December. And then Angelcake Entertainment with The Challenge, a reality TV show, as well as other reality TV that I talk about and fill my time with, because I enjoy and use my time wisely, especially on the treadmill at the gym. So it's really, really fun, really, really good. Angelcake Entertainment on youtube.com. And that's about it.
All right. The Challenge, I understand, is getting an upgrade where, like, it's going from MTV to like CBS, or at least Paramount Plus, where it's more than just past MTV contestants. They're making it a full and global sensation, if I understand correctly, right?
They are trying, yes. This is like they're counting it as a spinoff, but the spinoff is doing quite well in the ratings at this point. And we'll see that it's most likely going to get a couple of more seasons, but they are trying to do spinoffs with the Challenge USA, Challenge Argentina, Challenge Australia, and Challenge United Kingdom, and then have the winners of all of those compete together in its own spinoff. So they're doing like a world championship and trying to make this the quote unquote fifth sport of America, and that's what they're trying to deem the show as. But the Challenge MTV is still going on. They still have an all-star season on Paramount Plus. So they're just trying to branch out and do as much as they can to gain as much traction regionally, internationally, and just get more people to prove themselves and be put on the main cast, and then try to work it all synergic wise, if I can make up a word.
I think it's a good word to make up. You should get that copywritten post haste. But folks, I do some stuff around here. You can find me with a friend of the family, Mike Fish. It's called the Waffle Box Podcast. It's the best part of Wednesdays, and we talk about everything and nothing all at the same time. Season 2 of Sweet Science Cinema. Me and Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer Jameel Hemphill. We talk about some of the best boxing movies, and we've even sidestepped it over to pro wrestling films with Squared Circle Cinema. Next week, I believe that's August 16th, we have a special guest, The Algorithm, Caesar Black. He stops by, and we try to talk about 1986's Body Slam. Are we successful? Only you will find out if you watch or listen. And that's going to be on all the usual platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Amazon, etc., 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 but always at the BosNet.family. So for Drew Angelman, I've been Kush Hayes. You've been you.
Microdose, microdose. Microdose, 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 yeah, microdose.
From the BosNet family.
Who cares, man? That was so stupid.